Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'd like to go over what's been going on with Valve and payment processors with regards to games being censored and delisted off a platform. Many of you have likely already heard about this story long before I did this video, and there's many people who've covered it in a very positive way. So, I don't mean positive as in I like what's going on, I mean positive as in they did a good job, and I'll link you to some of those videos down below. You can also read about it on consumerrights.wiki. The TLDR is that Valve, which is who runs Steam, the thing that you buy most of your games from, is allowing payment processors to dictate what is and is not allowed on the platform. There's a new rule that got added recently. It states content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers, in particular certain kinds of adult-only content, as one of the types of content that is not allowed on Steam. So they're not telling you what type of content it is. They're saying that if the people that allow us to take your money don't like that content, it's not allowed on Steam. They're going to say a lot of things about wanting to protect the children. They're going to say a lot of things about wanting to end sexual exploitation of women. But when you actually take a look at Collective Shout and the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, who are behind this, who have co-signed this letter to these payment processors, you'll see that they are about a lot more than video games. These are the people that managed to successfully get Walmart to remove Cosmopolitan from their stores. This is not your standard American woke versus anti-woke, feminist versus men's rights activist type of thing. When you look into the history of Collective Shout, they were involved in trying to get Snoop Dogg and Eminem banned from the country of Australia. If you want to legislate in the country of Australia what you are and are not allowed to do commerce in and buy, you do you. I respect that. Your citizens make your rules for your country. Our citizens make our rules for our country. And that's what pisses me off about all this. It's not even a case of the American people really wanted this. And out of 328 million Americans, 327 million all agree on this. But our legislators and our senators and our Congress people just can't get their act together, which is why we don't have consensus. It's not like Americans are storming the doors of Visa and MasterCard because they want this legislation enacted. This is a group of 1,100 people in another country deciding that American citizens should not be able to use an American payment processor to purchase games that are stored on an American library from an American game developer. And that's bullshit. If you want to legislate what people can do in Australia, you do you. You have the right to do that. You're your own sovereign territory. You don't get to say what people in France and Germany and the UK and India and Pakistan and Canada and the United States can do and purchase with their own fucking money. That's up to us to decide, not you. I don't read Cosmo, but I don't mind if Cosmo's at Walmart. I don't think most of you do either. I am not going to play Cuckold Princess. It's not on my list of games that I think I'm going to be having fun with. But who am I to judge? I have 6 seasons of The Nanny on my home NAS. What, I'm supposed to judge you for playing this video game when I enjoy watching Fran Drescher get prepared for her date with a mobster? The bad thing about this is the idea that if 1,067 people get together and pressure a payment processor and then get a couple of other people that have roots in some kind of anti-porn Christian fundamentalist organization decide to pressure that payment processor, that they can get the entire rest of the world on board. Collective Shout started this in Australia, a country where a pedophile fucked with underage girls and got 4 years in prison and got paroled. That removed all proof from their ABN website that he was the person who was actually screwing people over. You'd think they'd have some bigger fucking problems to solve than video games that 1 or 2 people have bought. Why clean up your own neck of the woods when you could fuck up the rest of the world, right? The negative here is very obvious. We're not talking about a very specific list of rules that say what is and is not allowed to be on the platform. We're saying that if 1,067 people complain and then get together with a Christian fundamentalist organization that doesn't want porn, that doesn't want Cosmo and Walmart, that they can affect what it is you're allowed to buy and pay for. This is not Steam and Valve having a list of rules. This is them kowtowing to somebody who has the ability to destroy their business, MasterCard and Visa. Because 99% of you, if somebody says, yeah, pay us in Bitcoin or direct wire transfer, are going to go to the competing online store. I know some of you are going to say, I wouldn't. I would pay them in. No, you wouldn't. If 5 results on Google, you want to play the game, you want to play it now. You have your credit card out and ready, or you have your tap to pay, whatever the fuck. You're going to use what's easiest. They understand that they're going to lose a lot of business if they try and push back against this, which is why it's important that it not just be Valve that pushes back against this, but everybody else. They got this done with 1,067 people sending an email. 1,067 people. That is a good thing and a bad thing. The bad is that 1,067 people combined with an organization with a couple of weird associations to Christian fundamentalism and people that want to get Cosmo out of Walmart were able to get the entire world's payment processing to strong arm some of the largest video game online libraries to getting these games out of the library. What that means is that you also have some power too. Now, some people have emailed Visa and MasterCard to ask about this, and they've gotten garbage like this. Thank you for reaching out and sharing your perspective. As a global company, we follow the laws and regulations everywhere we do business. While we explicitly prohibit illegal activity on our network, we are equally committed to protecting our legal commerce. If a transaction is legal, our policy is to process the transaction. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by customers. Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have visibility into the blah, blah, blah. And you can tell that this is copy and paste garbage because this is Visa Webmaster. Somebody here contacted us and most likely contacted Visa, the section of the website that you're supposed to use if you saw a typo. That person didn't rise it up the chain. However, what if 2,000 of you, or 5,000 of you, or 10,000 of you were dead serious and took a picture of your card going into a shredder? You took a picture or a YouTube video or a TikTok showing yourself deciding, you know what? When I go out Friday night, I'm paying for everything in cash. Or I'm using Amex. Diners Club International. Discover. This may seem silly to you, but the positive in this is that 1,067 people got together and changed the world. It might have been for the worst, but they influenced the company. What do I tell you on this channel all the time? I'm trying to get people together to organize and realize that they have more power than they think they do when they are truly organized and working in lockstep with each other and willing to actually put their money where their mouth is. I try to get you to email your senator. I try to get you to email a company. I try to get you to work together all the time. And when we do work together, amazing things happen. Here, they work together and something bad happened. But it's the same principle. They're organized and they're working together. And that actually inspires me. Less than 1,100 people sending an email and lockstep with an organization whose CEO was part of George H.W. Bush's Department of Justice while they were prosecuting obscenity cases and adult porn, managed to change the way we deal with world trade and commerce. Now, you may not like the way it turned out, but you can't deny the fact that they had a fucking effect on it. And for me, that's inspiring because that means you can have an effect in the opposite direction. As long as you decide that you're not just going to sit on your ass, decide, I guess there's nothing I can do. It's pointless. It's hopeless. Why bother? Do you think these people are sitting in a fucking comment section somewhere going, man, what kind of moron buys an Apple? If you bought an Android, you wouldn't have a right to repair problem. What kind of idiot buys a Tesla? If you bought a Chevy Bolt, then you wouldn't have any issues with your car spying on you. They don't pull that bullshit. They work together. They're all working together to fuck over your ability to the freedom to buy what you want to buy. They're not focusing on the little petty grievances they have amongst each other. They're very, very well organized. And because they're very well organized, they have power, even in small numbers much smaller than all of you. Are you willing to organize to that degree? Because if you are, you can push back against this and have this all taken away. Or you can make fun of each other because it's the games you decide to play or who you decide to vote for. I see that too. You voted for this person, you deserve the consumer rights shit that you get. And listen, I'm not even going to open that can of worms right now. You know what's very, very important to focus on? The group of people that started this whole thing happening don't even live in the same fucking country as you. The more time you spend making fun of each other, the more time people that live in a country that is not even where the company that fucking you over is headquartered are going to be able to screw up your ability to live your life. You need to push back against that as soon as humanly fucking possible. This is a game that none of you win. I was reading some of the comments on Notebook Check. I can't stop laughing. The leftoids who have been trying to deplatform right-wingers via payment processors are now shocked and appalled when their degenerate hobbies are targeted. Eat shit and die. I'm reading something, that's not me saying that. What, you want to laugh at this? You think that's funny? Okay, what happens when you want to buy a gun? What happens when you want to donate to the conservative podcast host you're listening to? On the other side of the aisle, you may be laughing when that happens to them. What happens when you want to buy a game that might have some LGBTQ themes to it? This is a stupid fucking game. It's one of the very few games that I think should be put outside of the Stop Killing Games movement. The game where we try to play this thing of, I don't like this particular group of this. So instead of trying to legislate it, let's just try and bully payment processors so that people are no longer able to take part in it. Nah, let's not do that. That's a stupid game. That ends very badly. You're not going to like where that ends. If you're watching this and you're saying, LOL, who gives a fuck about the person who wants to play as cuckold princess? Whatever. I'll be honest with you, I didn't look through the list of games and I did not play these games explicitly because I had a feeling that if I went to play any of these games that I might just change my opinion on the matter. And here's the thing. I don't have to. It's a game. You don't judge me for watching The Nanny. I won't judge you for playing Cuckold Princess. We have a deal. This is particularly disturbing because we live in a world where you don't actually own what you bought and paid for. What if somebody purchased their Cuckold Princess and right now it's just been delisted? What if Cuckold Princess was taken out of their library? You think Visa and MasterCard are going to give the money back? Of course not. That's not how this works. What you're really protesting when you're protesting against this, you're not protesting in favor of cuckold princess. You're protesting against the idea that an angry mob of 1,000 people have the ability to dictate who you can and cannot give money to, what television shows you can and cannot watch, what video games you can and cannot play. I think what pisses me off the most about this is not even a case where the American people have spoken, but our senators and our Congress people ignore us, so we can't get a law passed. So everybody decides they're going to bum rush Visa and MasterCard to get the will of the people. That's not what this is at all. MasterCard and Visa are American companies. Valve and Steam are American companies. Collective Shout is an Australian activist organization. How the fuck is it that an Australian activist organization is going to say what we are and are not allowed to purchase inside of the United States from other American companies? That's bullshit. If people in Australia want to decide what they're allowed and not allowed to buy in Australia, let them be their own fucking country. Let them do them. They should not be able to dictate what is or is not sold within France and Germany and Pakistan and India and China and the United States and Canada. That's for us to decide within our own fucking country. I think the one thing that I hope my viewers take away from this is that if you do get together and you do organize, you actually have a lot more power than you think you do. And if you don't think you do, look at what happens when 1,067 people decide to get together and send an angry email and attach their name to it and be consistent and organized. You may not like them, but you have to respect the hustle that they have. They are organized. They stay together. And they do what they have to do to be effective. Are you going to do what you have to do to be effective? To get back your consumer rights? To get back ownership? To get right to repair? To have privacy? I hope you do. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.